In this demonstration, we're going to be taking this starter file that you see here that I'm going to scroll through and turn it into this finished version. Let me call that up down here, which I have open right here. So we're going to take it. We're going to start off by creating a little bit of a design around our headline. Put it inside of a little box with a shadow on it. We will turn our text into 2 columns. We will add some elements. We're going to add this image that you should have downloaded as well with the starter file, as well as this special text file here as well. And this over here is actually derived from a screenshot from a web page, and we're going to do that as well. And then finish off with a nice border around our page, as you can see here. Okay, you see here we also have a footer with just the file name info inside of the footer. So that's what we'll be turning our file into today. So I'm going to keep that in the background as something to compare to, but let's go over to our starter file right now. So you should have downloaded this file along with a graphic to accompany it, the graphic of the little heart inside of the circle. And we're going to start by just saving this file immediately. We're going to do a save as, or save a copy as, and save it into our OneDrive. So I'm just going to go over to File. This is also known as the backstage area. And I'll click Save a Copy. And then go to your OneDrive. Now mine happens to be in the folder already, but let me just go up a bit to show you where we're coming from here. So I'm in my OneDrive. I have my program folder, Computer Essentials. I'm going to double click that, or rather single click it. I already created a folder called Word Practice 6. I'm just going to click on there. And this is where you should have downloaded your files to. Now I'm just going to save this right now. So I'm going to change the word starter to last name. And you should do the same thing. Last name underscore first name underscore word underscore practice 6. And then save that there. Okay, so if I look at the top here, I can see the file name. And this is a new file that I've just saved. And we can begin with this. So I think we'll just start by creating a little footer, I think. So let's just go into Insert, over to our footer. We'll choose Edit Footer. And once we're in there, we do have these different insert elements. And I'm going to go to Document, Info, and simply put File Name. And there's the file name. So I'm just going to double click to exit the footer. I could also click the red X actually as well, but double clicking in an empty area will do it as well, which tends to be a little quicker, I find, but whatever method you choose to use. Okay, now I'm going to scroll to the top of the page here, and we're going to style this text at the top here, this headline, if you will. So I just clicked on it and selected by dragging across, and I'm going to make it bold, and we'll also change the color here. I'm going to go with the blue text, or dark blue text 2, it's called, and I'm going to click on that in there. And let's see here. Let's go to borders. And I'll go to borders and shading. And we're just going to go with the solid line. And on color, I'm going to go to the blue text with the 25%. I think it's down here. Yes, dark blue text 2, 25%. And for the width, I'm going to go with 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 points here. Now I just want a line underneath. So you can see there's 4 sides here. If I click down here, that's going to create a line underneath that text. So that's what we want to do right now. So let's just click OK here and save our file. Now we're going to format the rest of this text except for the final paragraph, and we're going to put it into 2 columns. I'm going to click in front of this Health Science newsletter and drag down so that I can select all the text. Again, except for that last line, which is a paragraph. So right to the end there, to where it ends in main campus. Okay. And I'm going to come up here, page layout, columns, and let's set it to 2. And boom, now it's in 2 columns, which is quite nice. So I'm going to go up into, with that still selected, I'm going to go up to my paragraph settings here. And in the after spacing, I'm going to set that to 6. And I'm going to justify the alignment. So alignment justified. That means it's going to be flush left and right. And I'll click OK. And you notice the subtle changes here as well. One thing also I want to do is, I can see here, this is where it's called a paragraph break, where the second column starts. I'm going to ensure that this remains the beginning of the second column by clicking there. And there's a thing called column breaks that I'll apply here. So I'm going to go breaks, column. Okay, you don't really see much of a difference, but what that ensures is that that remains the beginning of the second column. So let's just save that now. Okay, now it's time to insert an image at the bottom. So I've got my cursor flashing at the end of the document here. So make sure your insert point is at the bottom here. And we will go to the Insert tab at this point. Now I do want to insert a picture, and it's under Pictures. And I already have an image downloaded, so I'm going to use this device as my choice. And I happen to be where I want to be, but let me just show you how I got to here. It was actually in my OneDrive, in my Program folder, in my Course folder, and again my assignment folder is called Word Practice 6. I'm just going to double click there. There is the image. So with it selected, I'm going to click Insert, and it drops it in there. Now I do want to make some changes to this. I do want to change the size and so on. You can drag these handles to change the size, but I want it to be exactly 2 inches tall, so I'm just going to come over here and insert that in with a 2, and then hit my Tab key, and now it's 2 inches tall. Now I'm going to set the wrapping through the shortcut menu here to top and bottom, which happens to be this one right here, as you see with the mouse over it, top and bottom. And let's also go to the Align, and we'll align it to the center horizontally. And one more line, I'm going to align it to the bottom, which aligns to the margins at the bottom. Okay, so that moved it down a bit. One other thing I want to do here actually is come back in here, go to See More, and I want to lock the anchor down. So I'm going to click Lock Anchor and click OK. Again, that was derived through the layout options, See More, Lock Anchor. Okay, there we go. I'm actually going to crop it now. So there is a crop tool with it still selected. I'm going to go up to the crop tool, which is over here with the size features, and choose the crop tool. Now the way the crop tool works is you can grab any one of these handles, and when you start dragging, it eliminates what you're dragging past. So I want to get rid of all of this text. So I'm just going to drag this handle all the way to there and then let it go. And if I click away, you can see what it looks like. I'm going to click back on it one more time and just do what's called a horizontal flip. And that's under the Rotate feature. Flip horizontal. You can see what that does if I go away. I just wanted to invert that. Flip horizontal. There we go. Okay, and I can click away again and just save my file. Okay, let's scroll back up to the top of the page and go to the second line in the first column and just select the word December, and we're going to just delete that. So I'm going to highlight that and hit my delete key. And then keep your insert point right there. What we're going to do is we're actually going to insert an image, but this time we're going to do it in a unique way where we're going to derive a screenshot from a web page on the internet. So I'm just going to go down to my browser, and at this point you should kind of go to your browser and go to this page. This is on our DGO lessons page on our Computer Essentials course page. So I'm going to capture a screenshot derived from this page. So I've got it lined up. Let me go back to Word now. And over here, I'm going to go to my insert. And if you notice in the illustration section, there is a pull down for screenshot. So I'm going to click there. It shows you the available windows that are open, but I do want to use the one called screen clipping. So I'm going to go to screen clipping, which bounces right over to my browser. Makes it light with a crosshair. And the idea here is I click and drag across the area that I wish to capture as a screenshot. So I'm going to start in this upper left corner of the black area and kind of find the area here that I want to capture by dragging across it. And I'm just going to say this top section of our web page. So I'm going to click there and then let go. As soon as I release, it drops it right into my graphic, right into my Word file. So what I want to do is I want to make a few changes to this. I'm just going to make the height 1 inch, and the width will work accordingly because I don't want to distort it. So I can type in 1 inch under height, hit my tab key to enter that, and there we go. And at this point, I'm going to actually add, let's see, maybe one of these styles here. I'll add the first feature called Simple Frame White. So we just click on that while it's selected, and you can see there that now it has adopted that property. Okay, so that's how you can do a screenshot from a web page and drop it right in as a graphic. I'm going to come above here actually and just hit my backspace to make a little more room, like that. Okay. And if I scroll down here, yeah, I can see that that is down there. So let's see, maybe we need to make a little more room. Or maybe I can just make this smaller. There we go. There we are. So just squeeze that up. You can use the handles manually, which is what I did there. Okay, just to keep this on the one page. And there we are. All right, I definitely should save that. Now at this point, I'm going to stylize some of these little headings, if you will. I'm going to start by selecting Winter Scholarship Fundraiser, and we'll make it bold. And let's see here. I'm going to go into the settings for the fonts, and there's a feature called Small Caps, and I'm going to use that. And for the font color, I'm going to set it to, let's see here, maybe blue-gray text 2. Yeah, we'll go with the blue-gray text 2. There we go. Now I could have done that a couple of ways, but I did it here, and I click OK. So again, now I want to repeat that on this headline as well as this headline. So I'm going to use my format painter, and if I double click it, it will retain the settings of the currently selected elements. So I'll double click here, and then when I click and drag over other elements, they will adopt those settings. See that? It took the color, the small caps, and so on. Okay, so one more time up here, and you see that little paintbrush? It tells me I'm in the format painter. And to disengage it, I can click it once, or I can just click away as well. I definitely want to save that also. Now, I'd like us to decorate this title section a bit further. I want to actually put it in a shadowed box, if you will. So I'm going to select that whole paragraph right there. And we're going to go over to our borders, and we're going to go down to borders and shading. And I'm going to start by selecting the shadow setting. Choose solid line, go to my colors, ensure that it's on the dark blue text to darker 25%. And I'm going to take the width down to 1.5, so 1.5 points. Now I also want to go into the shading. So click on the shading, and for the color, we're just going to pick the blue-gray. Let's see which one it is here. Blue-gray 60%, that one there. So it's a bit of a lighter one, and you can see it sort of provides a background color to the box. And apply to paragraph is good. Click OK. There we go. Now I'm just going to center that over here while it's still selected as well. And let's save that as well. Okay. If I click away, you can see what that looks like. Now we're ready to insert what's called some word art. So I'm just going to go over to the insert menu. And I want to put it, let's see here, down here below main canvas. So I'm just going to click here and hit my enter key. And that's where my insert will be for what's called the word art. Be down over here under text, word art. Click on that, and it's this one here, the second from the left in the second row here, called Gradient Fill Aqua Accent Color 5 Reflection. Click on that, and once that's generated, you can click on the edge and drag it around to position it. I'm going to come in here and actually change that text and probably reformat it a bit as well. I'm going to say, "We appreciate you," with an exclamation. Okay, it's definitely much too big, so I'm going to select all of that once again and bring that down to, let's see here, maybe 28. There we go. Okay, and then I can click on the edge here, and if I need to reposition that, I can just drag that around to wherever I want to put it. And I'm going to say that looks pretty good to me right there. And save. Okay, to finish this off, let's just add a border to the page. So I'm going to go over to my design tab here. And at the far right, we have page borders. So I'm going to click on that. And let's see, I'm going to go with the box. And I'll use a, let's see, the line that's thick on the top and thinner on the bottom, right there. And for color, I think I'll leave the color to automatic, which will keep it black, basically. The width, we'll keep it at 3 points as well. And down here, we will keep it also at whole document. Okay, so I use the box, thick line, thin line, automatic color, 3-point width, whole document, click OK. There we go. And if I click away over here, we'll have a better view of our nicely decorated page border. Okay, again, I should just save that. And one last thing I'll have you do is go back to your Backstage under File and click on Info. And then click on Author, add an author, and just put your name in there, first name and last name. So start with last name, comma, first name. So for me, it would be Ouellette, comma, first name. Okay, and just hit your Enter key once you've done that. All right, once you've done that, again, just save your file, save, and hand that into Canvas. And that's that assignment for today.